How
We're live.
What's your? Oh, we're live. Okay.
Yeah. No.
Hey,
Anything?
I was just gonna say, what's your policy on swearing?
Oh, you do what you want. Do what you want.
Okay.
I try not to be too excessive where we
All right.
get.
Yeah,
but I think we're already live, everyone. And this is kind of weird because most of my viewers are probably still watching the other stream. We got one viewer. Thank you. We're here joined here with Dancing with Ghosts. Josh and Stephanie have been working hard. I've been following your Instagram. You've been very busy lately, doing all kinds of stuff. The band is in a different stage now. Can you explain that to people? Well, everyone is going to be. Most people here are going to be new to your band, but what's different about this new stage of your band? What are you doing different now?
So many things. So just long story short, band started as him years ago. I joined shortly after, and it's been the two of us for years. And then last year we added a drummer, and then a few months ago we added a bassist. So it's just been building on the components we already had. So that's kind of
onboarding the bass player was a lot of work on my part. Getting more into TikTok this year. I think this was the year where we were really like, let's take TikTok serious, because we started one in 2020 and then we like bucked it in 2021 because we were like, screw this stupid app. It's dumb. It's never going to go anywhere.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Flash in the pan. It'll be just like, what's that one that failed recently? The
Vine?
No, not Vine. There was a video thing.
Quibi?
Well, yeah, Quibi.
Quibi.
Yeah. It's gonna be another Quibi. It just shows my hubris for having my finger on the pulse of pop culture. Because then we literally like heard of a band that we played with in Tampa called Arrows in Action, and we heard my ex, the chick I was dating at the time, was like, "Oh, have you heard of Arrows in Action?" And I like record scratch. I'm like, how do you know about Arrows in Action? Yeah. This obscure band that we played with in Tampa like a few years ago. She's like, "Oh, they've blown up on TikTok. Their songs gone viral." And I'm like, "What?"
And we're like,
"Wow."
And so then we go and look up their TikTok, and they got like what? Hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yeah, they're doing great. And what's crazy is like I'll listen to our Spotify every now and then to see what bands it associates us with, and now it's like the world over keeps popping up. And we played with them years ago, and their sound is like really big now too. And I'm like, okay,
yeah, and literally that we played in some small venue with them, and they were nothing special. They had a few teeny bopper fans that they brought with them.
Their sound has changed a lot. It's the single I've listened to is very good, honestly.
So if people also want to support you, it does help on each platform. Because I'm not following you. I don't like TikTok, but I will follow.
I don't either.
We don't like consuming TikTok, but we do it. So
yeah.
No, I make content for TikTok, but I don't watch anything on there. Like I like long form content because I'm a very bloviating person. I like to just go on with when I expound upon my various points.
He likes monologuing.
So YouTube is I'm much more into for that reason, because you do production value better. I love the traditional landscape filming rather than everything having to be vertical, because rooms are not designed vertically. No. Rooms are designed like this. So it's like you got to take all that into consideration when making a TikTok, amongst other things.
But I don't like that.
We are on all platforms, so we are on Facebook, Instagram. We're on all of them.
I will say I was smart enough to go into TikTok at the very beginning and secure the Dancing with Ghosts original name. When it was still kind of small.
Okay, that's good.
We have the OG at Dancing with Ghosts. We don't have to like annotate it or anything.
Yeah. Oh, except Twitter. We really don't tweet. We have a Twitter. We don't.
You really probably should do everything, though. But
like, I don't really. I could give a flying shred of an F about Twitter, honestly.
Yes.
It doesn't. I talk, and so like it doesn't even let me type as wordy as I am. I was like, this is stupid, and like honestly, like it's just it's not a platform I understand. I work mostly on our Instagram. So that's
I
like,
found out, yes, because I was sending messages. This is great, Steph. This is great lyrics, and I got a reply. And I'm like, I think that's Steph.
yeah.
And then Josh is on Twitter.
Yeah,
I think.
typically Josh does like Instagram and I do or he does Facebook, I do Instagram.
I feel bad. I had it by default on private chat instead of comments. So I just want to say, like, what's up, Keely? What's up?
Oh yes.
Revolver?
And I do apologize that there's not more here. It's just my friend is streaming at the same time, so it's kind of odd. But I will point people in. I think I'm gonna be your fan club. I'm gonna be promoting each single, and I'm so happy that like you were banned before, but that you've expanded, that you're doing more shows, that you also entered the studio, and I gave you lots of respect on the last interview, Josh, that you're like a jack of all trades. You do everything yourself. But you're like, when I that Instagram interview, you're like, I am happy that I don't have to do everything. I like this. Can you give us more about this? All your songs I love them. But this is taking it to a next level. This new track, I can instantly. I'm like, why isn't this being playing on the radio or my local station? Why isn't this? And what do you feel that's going to happen now that you've got your feet wet in a studio setting and that you have other people helping you with your music? What's going to happen now? Is this the only song? I don't know if I'm allowed to ask that. Is this the only thing you worked on in the studio, or what's going on there? Because I want more.
Yeah. Okay. So really the whole thing, and I hate admitting this, it started out with our drummer who has been, difficult at times, but he does a great job at playing the drums. What's up, that dude, Vince? But it started off with our drummer. So with this new song, he's like, A, I want to write my own drum parts to it, and B, I want it recorded in a studio. I don't want these fake drums that you use in your other songs or whatever. Which we ended up just going in and patch replacing all of his drums anyway. So we essentially ended up with fake drums. But he actually, it's studio jargon that I won't go too deep into.
But he feels good about it now.
But anyway, So me and Stephanie were having the conversation. We're like, well, we have these studio recorded drums. Why don't we just record everything in the studio? Because we've already gone this far with it. Screw it. Let's just do everything else in the studio. And that's what we did. And honestly, I loved it. I loved it. I loved showing up, sitting on his comfortable couch, grabbing my guitar, making sure it was in tune, and just playing. And that was all I had to do. And knowing that we were going to end up with a superior product at the end of the day, because even though I can and have done all those things for our band, A, I am burnt out on it. It's not why I got into any of this. And B, when you're working with a team of people who are all like masters, they're specialists in their own area. It's like the product, as you have heard, and we'll see when the new music video comes out for it, the official music video, not the lyric video, you will see that it will be 100% on the next level than our other stuff, which is fine in its own right, but it doesn't have that. This is clearly a signed professional band sheen to it that this song has and will have with the music video.
Yeah. So because we were already, we were just like, oh well, we'll do the studio treatment, and then we're like, you know what, we're treating this song kind of like an experiment, because I'm like, it sits well in like modern music, so it's gonna have wide appeal. We might as well just do the thing that we've been dreading for a long time and just commit to like, let's make it really big, because we've always prided ourselves on doing everything in-house, but at some point it's kind of important to experiment with variables like this to see like, can we get everything? If we're putting out that next level product, can we hit that next level? So that was another thing we wanted to do with this track as well.
Okay, so first of all, this is Nicotine, and why am I being and why am I being compared to Tommy Tallarico here in the?
No, wait, listen, I interviewed Tommy Tallarico. Oh my God, is that I lost not to get sidetracked, but I lost like $400 on my Amico. Because
you're not getting it, right? I mean, that's just like a known thing at this point.
No, it's not going to happen. So Go ahead.
Has your favorability towards Mr. Thomas Tallarico changed?
It's complicated because you know how they say don't meet your heroes.
Right.
Like he's like one of the reasons I got on the YouTube. I liked watching G4 back in the day. I'm a nerd. I like games.
Yeah,
I like music. I like it.
That show he did with the other guy,
Victor Lucas.
Yeah, that
Reviews
show was
on the
great.
Run.
Yeah, I used to.
It. By the way, this is getting clipped out because this guy, or my viewer, he loves clipping out Amico content. So, yes.
Oh, nice.
I don't even know who we're talking about.
Yeah, she does. She's not.
I don't.
You're not nerdy enough to know about any of this stuff. But no,
He's a musician in the video game industry. He works on soundtracks. He worked like on Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim 2 had like a really epic soundtrack, I will say.
Yeah.
Especially if you listen to the Earthworm Jim 2 soundtrack for the Sega Saturn, I want to say, or I think PS1. It sounds amazing. Like,
so you did. Oh, we have another fan here. He's our friend, and he says, oh yeah, I know Dancing with Ghosts. I really like them. That dude Vince is a fan. Hey Vince, thanks for joining us.
I recognize the screen name. What's up?
Yeah, I actually discovered you guys through the Cinemassacre Truth.
When,
Josh put that video on there. That was, what was that, like 9 months ago? Maybe.
Throwing heat at James Ralph or something.
Yeah.
Did somebody put our video in the Cinemassacre Truth forum? Because I didn't put it in there.
No, I always thought it was you that put your the James.
Someone probably shared it.
That's cool. I wanted it to get into that forum, but I don't understand Reddit, so.
Yeah, but I ended up discovering the music through there too, and you guys are really good.
Awesome.
New single's really good.
See,
my wife loved it too. My wife.
I know you doing YouTube is good.
Yes.
But I figured I'd stop by and say hi or whatever. I don't have a whole lot of time at the moment, but
oh no, they appreciate you stopping in to support. We love supporting great independent creators, and I don't know. I feel something with this new track. I feel like you're going to go places more with this. I think it's going to, it just needs to get out there. Word of mouth has to get out there.
Yes.
Really great. But something you said about the studio experience. So you did lay down older tracks in there too?
No, we did all of our other stuff in-house. This is the first one we did.
Oh, okay. So I was maybe I got confused that you did
the old track comment. You probably got that from me saying the music, like all the guitars and stuff that were written, and like the song itself, sans her vocals, is a song that I've had kicking around in my demo bin for over 10 years.
Yep.
Well, that's great.
This is a very old guitar riff that
it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the chorus of da 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 da.
That is why I wanted to work on the track. That right there. I was like,
it's got that.
So I have to ask you questions based on like the fan perspective, because your fans that might see this later, they want to know when you're gonna. What are your plans now? I know you don't want to. It's probably you just finished a great track in the studio.
Yeah.
What's your plans next for your next studio experience?
Well, we're still filming. We still have to film the music video, so we've got coming up in the next.
That's August
2 weeks.
16th and 17th. We'll be filming the video. This is the first time I've worked with another outside video producer, so I don't know what the turnaround time on that's going to be.
And
we're going to have people in the video, so that's a first as well.
Yeah.
Supporters, cool.
Fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Are you planning to stay now that you're using professional, or not that you're not professional? You are professional. I think your music's great. I love all your music, but I'm saying now that you're using studio time, you're paying for it. You're also getting directors for music videos. Do you want to stay independent for the future, or are you open to whatever happens? Do you want to stay independent creator more? I mean, you do have a record label, but more towards the independent side, or would you be open to something? Or
well, honestly, like the more so our label, they're not the kind of label that will like give you $100,000 advance and be like, go like, these are the studios that we approve of. You have to choose from one of these. These are the producers we approve of. All of these things that you go and do. All that, these are all going to be approvable on our meaning of your first sales. Anyway, so the record label we're on now is not one of those labels. thank God.
Now, but that being said, like we have the freedom to do what we want, but we also, up until this point, have been entirely self-funded with just the two of us. So it gets pricey when you go into these leagues for just two people.
Okay, so that is the label is helping you a little bit with this one, or
not
still self-funded.
No. So the thing, like, basically, like, the less money you take from a label, the more creative. They we don't get any notes.
No, we just put out what we want, but we want to continue probably down this type of production path. So it makes us have to be choosier with the singles that we're choosing because of the cost involved on our end, So, because it is just essentially a person operation.
You're still so you're still happy with the way you work on singles, release them a few times a year. I like that. I like that way that works. That gets me excited. And I like the diversity of your music too. You change it up. Like from the last song was the last song?
Still remains. It's
still remains.
Big difference.
Yeah, it's like I like that you challenge yourselves with a different sound each time. It gets me excited. Yeah.
Thank you. The funny thing is, we chose this single because it was supposed to be the fastest for us to get out, and yet it just due to 10,000 variables, it's taken what feels like forever.
Yeah, because the song was already written. Yeah. Like I said, I've had it kicking around in my demo bin for like over 10 years now. So the song was done. Figuring out the bridge is going to be, figuring out the right lyrics and vocals, and we were going to slap it together in my house like all of our other songs, and it was supposed to be this quick thing that was going to buy us a lot of time. And then Trey came in, our drummer, and wanting to record his drums in the studio, and then we decided that we wanted to record our stuff, and so it through a series of a bunch of stuff happening, and on top of that, just all the shows that got thrown at us. We've never had a year where we only released like 2 singles, and it's looking like this year will be the year we've released the least amount of singles. But it's a good thing in a way, because now we've learned that in the future, like, all of our stuff is going to be on this same caliber.
But that being said, it doesn't mean we don't have more in the can. We definitely know what the next, couple of singles are going to be. It's just a matter of like time. I still have to write the lyrics and stuff for them, but we have like the base understanding of like we know like what the working titles of the next 2 are and things like that. It's time and money.
So this Nicholas Glenn comment, 100%. I was on tour, and the guy I toured with had a 1.2 million red balance with the label, and the album got shelved, which can happen if you're on and if a record's shelved, that basically means they're not happy with it, and they're not allowing you to release it. And since it's their property, they just get to keep it, and it's on a shelf, figuratively. He says a few years later, you won a Grammy. Well, that's good. I mean, he bounced back from it. But yeah, like major labels are not. That's not. I mean, yes, if you want to become super like huge, then yeah, play ball with the major labels. But I mean, I feel like someday graduating to like a more, I guess, well-known indie label like Fueled by Ramen or something like that, that would be like the ultimate goal for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's certain resources that these labels have, like they can put you on bigger tours with bigger acts. They can get you featured in more prominent publications. Not saying I don't appreciate what our label is doing now, if they're watching, because I do appreciate it. However,
we love them.
They can only go so far. And, people are constantly telling us, why aren't you guys bigger? Oh my God, I could hear you on the radio. It's like, well, we need a team behind us to make that happen, because it's not just as simple as someone hearing it and loving it. You have to pretty much prove to any label that can really do anything for you. You have to prove to them that you are a ready-made commodity, that all they have to do is pluck you out of here and put you into their family, and boom. Because if you look at the story of any band that's made it, that's gotten big, they've already proved before they ever got signed that they were already selling thousands of copies of their CDs before the label even signed them. They were already bringing out 200, 300 people to their shows. They're generating a buzz all on their own. Lil Nas X, if you want to go the social media route, he didn't physically play shows, but he blew up on TikTok. He won the lottery with that one.
Yeah.
And so all of these acts proved to the major labels that they are a viable entity that can take care of shit themselves. And they don't need to be, like sometimes bands will be groomed into being the new boy band, the new, was it BLT or what was it called?
I'm not going to name names on this, but there is.
We could do that here if you want. Well, okay, I'll respect you.
Names, but so there's a band that's based relatively locally, like Northeast Florida,
out there.
and they're on the younger side, but they literally went to essentially rock star school, and so they are blowing up. It's not that their product isn't good or whatever, but they're all late teens, early 20s, and it's
they're privileged. They're very privileged, and
their dad has money. It's very nice.
And and as a result of their privileged life, they have skipped past a lot of the due paying that we've had to go through.
But their stuff is solid. Musically, it's good for they're making.
And if they figure out who we're talking about, we would love to play a show with you.
We've tried to book with them before, actually.
Yeah, we're kind of.
We're gonna play the track soon for the audience so they can hear that too, and then we'll do some more interview too. But I can't wait to listen to it again, honestly. Awesome. But I do have some questions, and we'll probably discuss the track itself. Is there anything that happened during the recording process, being in the studio, that you've had this song for a while, Josh and Steph? You've had this in that you were thinking about it. Is there anything that happened while recording that you're like, oh, that's interesting? We didn't think something happened in the studio that made the song better, or something you were experimenting with the producer or whatever the mixers. And one thing I want to say right away is I love the layered voices. And Steph corrected me on Instagram. She's like, that's not the whole band.
No,
that's just Josh and Steph, right?
That was me, Josh, and the producer, whose name is also Josh. We literally recorded together 8 times, and they made this group vocal. But yeah, as far as the process, what I enjoyed the most is typically when we record together, we hate recording vocals together.
Okay.
It turns into an absolute knockdown, drag out. We hate each other by the end of it.
Just yelling match between she's in the closet, I'm in my computer chair, and I'm like, why aren't you singing? I'm recording, and she's like, I didn't know you were recording, and it turns into one of those things.
What I loved is this studio. He got to just sleep on the couch.
Bro, I was napping asleep while she did her vocals.
I'm screaming and stuff, and the guy literally, it was probably the best compliment I've ever had in my whole entire life. My whole entire life. So the way that Josh Cobb is the recorder's name for Rockbot Studios, that was who did this single. He was so awesome to work with. And he literally was like, okay, we're going to do this way. Pronouncing this word this way is more modern. He paid attention to all those little details. So that made a big difference. But also there's not auto tuning or anything on my tracks. Anything that if he just didn't like a take, he just scrapped it and we did it again. And
man, I kind of wish I had been awake for all that.
Yeah,
kind of an interesting thing to hear.
But he actually, normally we would be the ones coming up with the harmonies, but in this case, he just
dude, this guy was the master.
He was like, do this, and I was like, okay. But it was awesome because we didn't get mad. And I got to do new stuff, but he literally was he's like, oh, this is he's like, I'm hearing some Gerard Way in your tones. And I was like,
oh, cool.
I love that man so much.
Nice.
I worked my whole life to try to get these tones because I've never been able to produce them. In any single, I've never done it vocally this way. But I love artists like that. So that was a very big thing for me personally.
He pulled so many harmonies out of her that I would have never had thought to do.
And we're big on harmonies, so that's what's funny about this single.
Yeah, that was a huge thing. I mean, as far as me tracking my guitar, he would just be like, strum it differently or something, and
I do want to remind Dancing with Ghosts, Josh and Steph, and the chat that there is a contest here. Josh and Steph are gonna pick one commenter, and I'm gonna pay to send you a shirt. So keep track of these comments. If you have questions it's the shirt it's the shirt he's wearing.
I helped design.
So it's up to you two to pick your favorite commenter. So if you want to leave a comment or a question in the chat, if they really like your question at the end of the show, they're gonna kip. Yes. I didn't mean to skip your question, Hans. What was your question? Oh, yeah, I guess we could say who our favorite bands are.
So fun fact, this isn't like a knock against any musicians or anything, but I just don't listen to a lot of female artists. A lot of times their vocals
sexist.
No, a lot of times their vocals grate on my nerves. So I can tell you the female vocalists I do listen to. I love New Year's Day. I think Ash Costello is a beast. Icon for Hire is really big because they are very independent, and so I watch them as like a roadmap. Honestly, like they're just good ones to watch.
Canceled.
No, but artists I actually love in terms of just in general modern artists right now. I love Youngblood, who just had a new song drop today. I love Palais Royale. I love Falling in Reverse. I like a lot of like stuff like that, and then obviously like MCR and things of that nature.
My favorite band, Nightwish.
Oh, it is now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
There you go.
He doesn't listen to anything like that. He doesn't.
I don't even know Nightwish.
He likes Rammstein and Depeche Mode, and
I love Depeche Mode. Yeah.
Rush
fan. Don't leave out Rush. Look at he's got a new tattoo since you've seen him last.
Oh, Starboy.
Yeah.
Yes. So there you go.
I need
my current favorite band, and I'm not just becoming shills now for you. Is Dancing with Ghosts, my current favorite band.
He has a Smashing Pumpkins tattoo, but it's 0.
Oh heck yeah, dude!
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is really hard.
Take off your arm and show them.
Anyway, it's the 0 logo during the melancholy era of Smash.
I traded Star Trek cards for that CD, man.
Oh, great choice.
He loves Star Trek.
Yep. And I love Star Trek.
But I did say my favorite new band, because I only found out about you last year, and it was also because Josh's other videos on other topics about video games. I'm quitting collecting, and Brian knows my journey that I've had to financially stop collecting video games, and that's how I found you. I'm like, wow, this guy's a great musician, and so is Steph. And but you're my current favorite new band that I know of. You're newer to me, but Failure is one of my favorite bands of all time. I just went to see them a few months ago.
Nice.
It was great. And Zeno, here's my friend Zeno. Call him all the time. And he's like, "Who are you interviewing tomorrow?" And I said, "Dancing with Ghosts." And then he went back to your back catalog, and he's like super impressed. For an indie band, I'm impressed how progressive I think he just really wants the T-shirt. No, he's being genuine. For an indie band, flattery could get. I don't know what their criteria is for the pick of the T-shirt, but for an indie band, I'm impressed how progressive Dancing with Ghosts is. These guys' musical range is outstanding. Wow, that's great applause. This is someone new. Someone new to your music.
A big part of that is that we don't have the same musical influences at all on it.
Good.
I think we agree on a single, an album by Jimmy Eat World. We both love Phil Collins, and Michael Jackson, but
that's about it.
And that's about it. Like our musical taste is so coming from completely.
The crazy thing though is
we love what we make.
Crazy thing is like I write the music and she just listens to it and likes it for some reason and she writes melodies to it that are usually good well
because a lot of our stuff is more synthy, and I love I love synth music, so like I love Duran Duran, but I love newer Duran Duran more than the old stuff. So like I grew up on synthy stuff. I love 80s. And given that we both come from the school of like Phil Collins, it makes sense, so we have those pop sensibilities, but what I choose to do with what he gives me varies so differently from song to song. Cause I do like punchy, fast paced vocals. That's because I come from the school of rock. I love MCR. I love those artists that they want to just hit hard and fast. And that's not what he initially was giving me. So I wanted to work within those.
Good news, you do have crossover appeal, because me and my wife have very different musical tastes.
Yes.
And I played your track, and she liked your old stuff too, but she really liked this new song. She really liked Audacity. She was really a fan of it. And I think it's a good. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say
Process.
there was a couple comments we needed to scroll up, and I
Sure,
want to
sure.
hit. Can you scroll?
Yeah.
Because I know we're missing everybody's stuff. Like they were asking, Pete Dencat was asking, like, does the shirt have a back print? No back print on this one because we pay for it, but it is high quality material. This is not like Gildan. It's well printed. So we're big on like comfort and quality. And the guy that designed the actual thing, so I came up with the concept, I shot it over to him. This guy has made prints. Sit upright.
I'm trying to read the other things. And you
sit
keep
like bananas. I'm answering. But the guy that designed this, he actually has done stuff for A Day to Remember, for Paramore, for Attack. Like he's worked for so many of these bands since like 2008. So it's really cool.
At Jamers Design on Instagram.
Yes. Oh, I followed him when you had that
his
on.
Stuff is so cool.
Very affordable too.
Yes, and he's
really? I need a Movie Madness shirt.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop his prices, but
I don't remember his prices, but
do.
they were reasonable.
But he works very fast. Like within a couple days, you've got your stuff. So
Chubby Teddy Monster Production says, Josh, do you like Pliny? I have no idea what that is. Hans says bass, pick, or fingers. Our bass player uses she was using her fingers, but I got her to use a pick because
But you recorded the bass.
Yeah, I record the bass. I use a pick too. With the kind of music we're doing now, it's like just picks. Yeah. You want the attack of a pick. Plus, I've realized that you run into a lot of studio tracking nightmares when you use your fingers because the strings are constantly clinking against the fretboard unless you develop a really good technique, like Geddy Lee. He's amazing. The bass player from Rush, he's amazing with his fingering technique. When I first learned bass when I was a teenager, I definitely was a huge finger advocate and definitely gets picks. But now that I've gotten older and I've had to track bass myself, picks all the way. Not a Joan Baez fan, eh? No, Stephanie loves Joan Baez, and she's even growing her armpit hair out right now.
I don't even know who that is.
No, she was a feminist, pioneer of feminist 60s hippie music.
Let me see if I could get the link to the t-shirts. If let me see here. I'm on your Instagram.
Yeah, we've got a couple ways to get the shirt because it is on Bandcamp, but Bandcamp takes so much of your profit share that we sometimes they'll just be like, hey, that shirt you sold, you actually don't get any money from that at all.
Would it be good just to point people towards your Instagram? And then they could message you. On
Instagram, we actually have a flyer thing on there that's got our Venmo and Cash App, because if you do those things and you send your size and your shipping, we can do it that way, and that way we actually get
I've got a solution for all of this right now.
He's gonna fix it.
Give me 1 second.
He's gonna fix it. But yeah, it basically like tells you how the best way to go about it. Because like Bandcamp we can do, but there's a high probability that they'll just like we will literally lose money on it because we've already paid for the shirt. And it's one of those things because if they take every bit that you get from it and you're still paying the shipping, and it's a mess.
Okay.
He's doing it. He's doing the thing.
Hans has lots of questions here. I don't know all the technical stuff.
Can you read any of them? Because I can't see the questions right
now.
now.
Oh yeah. We can highlight. Oh, Nick wants to know your thoughts about Star Wars and thoughts of The Last Jedi.
We both love Star Wars.
I love the original trilogy. Yes. That's about it.
I honestly, the ones with Hayden Christensen hurt me.
You're hurting me, Steph. I love those.
I know, but I love Star Wars. I do. But honestly, like when they came back with like the last set of the trilogy, the ending made me so angry. I don't even.
There's
you're not the only one.
I lost my shit on. I was the guy saying Kathy Kennedy fired on the internet.
When they're like, hey, is it cool if we kill Kylo Ren? I was like, I want to live in fan fictions now. I refuse to accept this because I think it would have been more interesting if they would have made Rey actually turn evil for once.
Yes.
We can do that. Roll the universe. Like, do something different. Like, that would have been so cool.
I wanted Kylo to kill everyone and just end the trilogy there, like him ruling the galaxy. Like, end it down. Whoa.
Imagine, like, seeing them both like, yeah, we're fucking evil now. And then you have license to make new people that can come in and kill him later. Whatever. It would have been different. And I would have loved that.
Keely wants to pimp out another YouTube content creator, Dan Vast's original song. Okay.
Is there a way I can drop like a JPEG in the private chat? Because it's saying I can only share a video file. I have a graphic that is the best way to get our shirt.
Yes.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know why they would let me drop a video but not a simple picture.
That is very strange.
Can you send it to me on Twitter?
Send it to him on Twitter, and then
I can do that right now.
Yeah, because that's probably the easiest way for me to do it. And then I think we should let people hear from anything else that you want to prep this track for, about what the significance of this track for your band. How do you feel now that it's finally released? There's a lot. You've been working on this track a long time, and any other prep work you want to say on this one before we press play and let the audience hear?
It's just that I'm happy it's out. It's been a long time coming. We took a lot of risks with the stylings of it, with the vocals on it, with the way that even it was written, because it's not traditional for us, but I think it holds up with all these like modern bands, but it also has that like old school pop punk kind of feel, which is, I think, really nice for us.
I love this question from Hans. What are their thoughts on using time signatures, and why or why don't they like using them?
Are you saying we don't have time signatures?
Whenever you write a song that has any cohesiveness whatsoever, you're kind of in a time signature, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You're either 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, or you're 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 there's all kinds of different time signatures. Like Billy Joel's Piano Man is in 3/4 time. The 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, but most songs are in 4/4 time.
Which I love 4/4.
I mean 4. I love 3/4 or 6/8, whatever. But yeah, that was funny.
And Steph, do you want to share anything? Maybe kind of be vague as you want, or be as blunt as you want, about the personal lyrics of this particular song. How did it? Does it great to get that out in the song form? Like, this is more personal for you than other.
It was necessary just due to situations that were going on in my life at the time. Like I said, I think this was before we went live, but I had the song written and it wasn't going to go this way. But then it's basically like it has to do with stalking from a person I used to date. And it got so volatile that they had actually made like subterfuge accounts to follow me. And when I figured it out and I called him, I was like, I'm only going to ask you this one time. Is this so-and-so? And when they're like, see, amiga, I was like, I went nuclear. I went absolutely crazy. And they tried to feed me the whole, I'm in therapy. I'm sorry. Yeah. Because sorry makes it A-okay. But they're not sorry because they're still doing it. So I'm just like, you're like, I can't. I cannot. So I changed everything. I scrapped.
Well, in the age of social media, that could help a lot of ladies on it. Unfortunately, this is more common than ever with the age of social media.
Yeah.
It's just some shenanigans.
Because it gets to a point. We have so many mutuals. He literally has people reporting on where I am, what I'm doing, who I'm with. Like still. Yeah. So it's too much. And I had to have, because this is art for me. I take out my feelings in my art so I could really give a fuck what he thinks about it, because it's not about him anymore. It's about the frustrations of my life and how fucking dare you. So that
I feel also that angle could really reach a lot of people in the age of social media, and ladies on the internet too.
Yeah.
Dealing with, it's very relatable, very timely, very. Again, the production, everything is very to what I feel is popular right now. I could easily see, like, if you were in the Josh, the last interview, he's like, I love the 90s. I could easily see this on MTV in the 90s. Easily.
I mean,
our old music used to get compared to the 80s, so it's nice to move into a new decade.
Okay, you're in the 90s now. You're in the 90s. Okay,
we're in the 90s. Maybe one day.
I want to get to the
when we're 50, we'll be in the year 2020, which will then have already been long. Anyway,
we'll be making trap music.
Two quick questions I'll answer to Echo Base Network here. Where is it? Blah, blah, blah. What might? Oh, Josh, what pedal setup do you run on your guitar for live shows? I use a Boss Chromatic tuner TU2. I use a Boss Metal Zone MT2. I use a Boss Super Overdrive SD1. I use a Boss EQ pedal that I mainly use just to boost my signal. It's the GE7. I don't know. It's kind of small.
Letters are.
Okay. No,
I use a Boss Course Ensemble CE5, and finally I use this beat up old Ibanez delay pedal. That's the person I bought from spray painted it black.
It looks so bad. Like,
hold on.
Yeah, it's just this beat up ass.
Nice.
All right.
It's got character.
Yeah.
All right.
Then so what tuning do you generally play in? E standard, drop D, and then we have two other songs that are D standard and drop C. Those are the only tunings that we've used so far.
Well, let's let everyone hear, and then we'll still have you as long as you want to be. But I can't wait to listen to it again.
Yep.
Brian, this is your first time listening to it today?
No,
I listened to it earlier.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
it's pretty good, man. I dig it.
All right, here we go.
Joy passing, trying my leash. It drives me like a dog, walking down the street. Wait for your response when we're back and I bleed. I know the food is poison, but I'm starved, so I feed. You call yourself insane, but you're just toxic, my dear. Try to drag me through the mud, cause you're so cavalier. You said I'll miss you when you're gone, but I won't shed a tear. Don't think that I don't notice that my will is what you fear. I know you got eyes on me. Oh, the audacity, the story makes it okay. You've got the audacity to try to control me. Show your audacity, go find some dignity. Over simple-minded thoughts and with your jealous soul, I guess that I'd be jealous too with a head just like a hole. If this sounds condescending, that's because it is. Wanna sling your jerk roll like a worm, get crushed under my heel. Your words shoot out like bullets, but you always miss the mark. Your skin's so thin, so insecure, small talk with yuppie barks. You said you wanted a song, is this what you had in mind? You said you wanted a song, is this what you had in mind? I know you got eyes on me. Oh, the audacity, 'cause sorry makes it okay. You've got the audacity to try to control me. Show your audacity, go find some. But if you saw clearly, you'd see that you can match me. Still watching, still grasping at me, but I'm still rising. I'm playing, you're thinking, I don't know what you're thinking. Honestly, I don't even know where you get the nerve to message me anymore. I think it deserves any amount of my time. Oh, the
Yeah, that was kind of useful.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and you got to love how YouTube does the end screen and covers up.
Yeah. I love it. I love that track.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Thank you.
Oh, definitely. Oh man, definitely check them out. I've also what's the see, everyone's loving it. I just needs the right word of mouth and like just hitting. I do appreciate the efforts you guys do on Instagram too to make funny videos and what's the experience now with the live situation, because you added a new member, you added the bassist. how in the live shows are getting more, slightly more people than usual. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, we've actually done sold out local shows and stuff.
Awesome.
That feels really good, but you know, there's definitely been situations with all the extra, like say it's a very small stage. Like I did fall at one of the last times. I caught myself, but like there was no room because I jump a lot. I move a lot. I spin in circles. I'm a very active front person. And that stage didn't have room for that. And I fell into the drums. So that was fun. One more person, it makes a very full sound. But if you're on a smaller stage, my first band was like a 6-person. So I'm used to very, very small stuff, you know, like, but I move around so much that half the time I'm like, I guess I'll just leave the stage. I'll just go out here.
I got a wireless guitar system recently, and I like to spin as well. And there is no spinning on certain stages now with how much more cramped the space is with 4 people rather than with just 2 or 3. But I mean, overall, the live bass, live drums, live guitar, live everything, aside from the synth track.
Has it reinvigorated you on your back catalog too, having the full band?
Oh yeah. It sounds
more
a lot
fun for it.
A lot of the songs sound a lot heavier now live.
Okay.
That live bass component, because in our backing tracks, when the bass used to be tracked, for some reason that it was just never mixed right to where you heard a lot of the bass. And I don't know. It definitely filled out the sound a lot more. Definitely don't regret it at all.
I did want to answer that. So we're local to Jacksonville, Florida. We've played everywhere from Atlanta to like South Florida. We actually had an entire tour booked for 2020, but COVID just, killed the world at that point. So we've typically booked most of our own stuff. We've tried to work with a booking agent in the past, but we haven't found the right one for us. Put it that way. You got to find the right one for you, and we have not found that. So if you know the right people, we love that. But if not, we're trying to set up shows, mini tours for like late this year, early next year, in addition to all the shows we already
out of state too. Is that logistically possible?
Yeah,
or
we've done it.
We're currently working on souping up our van we're going to get a trailer hitch installed, and we're going to get a trailer. So all 4 of us can ride in the same van together. And these are all things that we tried to avoid on the outset of the band. Like me and Steph were like, man, we're going to beat the system because we're going to have backing tracks. So we won't have to have extra band members to worry about.
We can all fit in my Toyota, which we did for years. We literally scrims, amps, everything in my fucking Toyota.
We're going to record all of our own music, do all of our own music videos. We're going to cut out the middleman. We got this all figured out. But honestly, as time goes on, you do kind of learn that if you really want to be taken seriously, like you kind of have to do all the bullshit that you see all the other bands that are out there who are on the next level of their career, you see them doing. You really do have to do that. There's not unless you win the lottery on TikTok or something, there's not really a way you can forego all the costs of buying a trailer, buying a band van, studio time, all this other shit, so it's one of those.
He wants you to go international.
Well, I mean, we would love that. I thought it was cute. We got a comment a couple weeks ago that was like, you guys should come to, what was it, South Korea? I was like, my bro, we can't even get to North Carolina, but we appreciate that. But like, we have no financial backers. So we're working on trying to get out. The tour we had planned for 2020 was actually going to be funded by we were going to do one person's wedding, oddly, in Wisconsin. And we were using the funds for that to fund the tour. So, it's like one of those things, but we would love to go international. We'd love to go national. Like, I want to play California so bad it hurts. But I saw another comment asking about in-ears. We want in-ear monitors. We're not that advanced yet. Like we work with the in-house sound and the stage monitors. We want in-ears.
That's absolutely like the next step of our live.
That's something that we want.
Is getting the in-ear monitors, because that is like a big game changer in your hearing your vocals. And
I'd like to not have feedback on my processor.
Stage monitors are always a pain in the ass, because it's almost like the sound guy has like only so much monitor for the entire use of his mixing board, and it's like in this jar. And if you ask for any more, then he's only willing to give you so much. It's like, can I get more monitor? It's like, nah, bro, can't afford it. Sorry, that's all the monitor you're getting. So if you can't hear yourself, oh well, you know. Yeah. I've only got a limited jar of monitor I can give through the entirety of this mixing board, and I am not spending it on you. Like, I know it's a weird analogy that I just went on, but if you're in a band, maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about.
It is funny, but it does feel true.
All right. So you also have a show tomorrow. How many shows do you have booked recently? You're pretty much busy every weekend or most weekends?
We're doing Orlando tomorrow. We've got Gainesville the next weekend. Our next local show, we're actually opening for Johnny Craig, formerly of Dance Gavin Dance. So that's September 10th at Archetype here in Jacksonville. So we're super, super excited for that opportunity. He's been really cool to message on Instagram and promoting the show and all that. So that's a big one, you know. So
what if people want to buy your tracks digitally, or which storefront are you on? Storefronts? I'll be honest, I haven't bought your tracks yet. I've been listening on YouTube and Instagram and stuff, but I should. Where could they find your stuff digitally? Or
Spotify. I mean, if you want to buy the track, I think Apple's still allowing people to do that.
Does Bandcamp allow?
Yeah, you can buy the track on Bandcamp. They'll probably take all of our money, but you'll own it at least.
Yeah. Well, what's the preference? I mean, people that are going to watch this most likely want to support the artist the best way they can. Where do you want to point them then? The best way?
Honestly, me personally, I check Spotify numbers every day. I would love for people just to add us to their playlist. That way, it's a chance. That's a me personal thing. I check our numbers.
Spotify. Okay. Spotify's important. Yeah.
Yeah, because the more playlists it gets added on, the more the algorithms understand. Oh, these bands sound like this or whatever, so it can kind of recommend us to people.
So she's got
but that's my
it's stuck in her craw that we don't have a fans also like tab on our Spotify page.
We used to.
Let me talk.
I have a story.
Yeah, I know. I know your story. So you most bands who even the small, you could find a band, and I've tried this out. I looked up a local band in Jacksonville. They had 50 monthly listeners on Spotify, and they still had a fans also like tab, and there was like a dozen other bands on that list. And I can't help but to think that does help out an artist to a certain degree, especially if the fans also like are big artists.
Yeah, I found so many artists over the years that way, but we used to have one, but they had our account on Spotify tied with this Irish folk shanty band also called Dancing with Ghosts. I had to work for like 6 months or so to get them disconnected from our thing.
Yeah, because their shit was showing. They released an album in 2014, and it was showing up on our page. And I didn't release my first album when Dancing with Ghosts was just me. I didn't release my first album until 2017. Yep. So fans going on there at the time must have been like, man, Dancing with Ghosts really changed their sound up from 2014 to 2017 because it was all this like Irish folk music.
Yeah, so when I got them off of our stuff and I got it separated, unfortunately, that also literally just took away that feature and we just never got it back. And I'm like, this is detrimental. Like, so to me personally, Spotify is my own personal crusade. I really want us to see, I really want to see us on a bunch of playlists there so that we can essentially like finally, because there is no answer. If you Google that, like, how do we get that feature? They'll just give you algorithm.
They're like, encourage your fans to listen to your music on Spotify more. And it's like, oh, really? That's how we do it?
Well, I don't really use Spotify, so I'll get it just for you guys.
I'm working on it right now. I got you guys.
Yeah. It's a feature we used to have that we don't.
So just to speak to Echo Bass Network, it sounds like he's kind of in the music game because he's asking a lot of music-related questions. He said, my friend from out in LA is now the drummer for Buckcherry. And he was telling me how sucky the LA music scene is nowadays.
I've heard that.
Yeah, so like the problem with California now is I mean, everything's been expensive, but it's gotten even more expensive. B, the pandemic really like drove a lot of people out of California.
And it shut down a lot of the venues. I have musician friends out there as well, and that was a big variation.
Yeah, so there's been a mass exodus to like Las Vegas, Nashville.
But Austin, Texas, yes. Austin is supposed to be very good for musicians. Just in general, I think it's the music capital of the world, or one of them. that in Nashville.
So I want to like dive into the comments here. Like I'm a WWE wrestler and I'm going into into the crowd. Who is ETEP and what is the big deal about this person?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right. Anyway, so that graphic that
I'm going to try to get a close. I'm going to try to get a bigger image here. I saved it. See if I could. Hold on a second.
Crop it, twist it, bop it.
So what you're seeing there is it's saying the preferred way to buy our new shirt is through Cash App or Venmo, and then it has our Cash App, which is $ Dancing with Ghosts. Venmo is at Dancing with Ghosts, and then it's $25 shipped. And then please specify in the memo or whatever that you can specify your size that you want and your shipping address, and that way you are paying us, supporting us directly. Because if you go through Bandcamp.com, they have what they call their revenue share, and it's ridiculous. It's like for every like 5 shirts we sell, they take the 5th one for them.
Wholesale.
They take all the profit from it. And it almost seems like it's worse than that, because it'll be like, you sold a shirt. After your revenue share balance, you made $0, and it just pisses me off every time because we had to buy all of those shirts.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just like stealing from us at this point. So I don't really support Bandcamp anymore because of that shit, you know.
But on Bandcamp Friday, that's usually when you'll see us post about Bandcamp, because then 100% of the proceeds go to artists. So if you like supporting your art, like your musician friends, if they post about Bandcamp Fridays, that's the best time to do it. Because they usually do one a month where the artists actually get to keep it all.
I think when I was checking out, some of your older CDs are out of stock. Do you have any plans for reissuing old CDs or vinyl? You know.
Oh well, you're like only the second person to ask that, because there was this other.
I used to collect vinyl. I would get your vinyl. I don't collect it anymore, but if you came out with one, I'd get it.
Yeah, so probably not gonna do a reissue. The expense, but also like our old songs are just so like rough around the edges, and it's not really like representative of our sound at the moment.
And CDs as a format are really not what is consumed by a lot of people these days. So
I still have a CD player in my car.
I have so many of these, but
that doesn't work.
It's not representative of what you would hear from us like anymore. Like we play.
You still sell them at shows? You know,
White Room Circles and Glorious Night, and that's about all that's on this album that we still play. So
yeah, I mean we sell them at shows sometimes. Like sometimes we'll put them out, sometimes we won't. It just depends on like what we feel the vibe is, because like they're so antiquated, man. Like people will buy them and then they'll just be like, yeah, I don't have a way to play it, but I'll still buy it.
I am that person. I have albums, I have vinyl and CDs. I don't have a way to listen to either of them, so I frame them and put them on my wall, and that's me supporting artists I love, because I only listen to music in the digital format. I don't have a way to do all that, you know.
Basically,
like yeah.
I mean, like
I don't have a Walkman anymore.
I have my CD collection over there.
Oh yeah, and you don't know it.
That I've had since I was a kid, and I'm not going to get rid of those because like it is endearing to me and a lot of memories and shit. But do I go out and buy new CDs by artists I like? No, hell no, because I'm just going to stream. I'm going to stream them on Spotify and never even put the CD player or CD in the CD player.
Well, I know cost is important too. Would there be any justification for like some bands even do like Indiegogo or something to put the project up and do packages to sign this, sign that, t-shirt, special edition t-shirt?
Well, I mean, we sign anything that people ask us to sign when we mail it out, if that's what you're asking.
No, I mean that's awesome, and I'm going to contact you about that. But I mean, like some things that I've seen other people, independent creators, they do like a package. Like we'll give you a special shirt if we pay to get it put on vinyl. It has to be done through the Indiegogo if we reach our goals, and it can be complicated though.
You mean like bundles? Is that
yeah? There's like
like an Indiegogo thing.
It happens with video games and comics and stuff. But I mean, it would be complicated to put a package together, but that's also a way that you could gauge pre-orders and stuff before you do the costs if people are interested. Now,
ideally, what I want to do is I want to wait till we have about 12 or 13 tracks since the release of Heck, and like curate them all onto a new album.
Okay.
Make it
That's
a
the goal.
heavy beat, only vinyl, because that's the only thing that people would fuck with, like as far as like physical media.
With like a bitchin' image on the cover.
Yeah, and then do that. But vinyl production is incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
So we probably take like the past like 2 or 3 years of singles. Some of them we wouldn't include on there just because they don't fit the format anymore.
Oh yeah, so that's why bands have to play so many shows nowadays. It's the only way we make money. Yeah, I mean we play so many shows. We did I think 19 or 22 in 20. Yeah, we did 22 in 2019.
I think we're gonna hit or surpass that this year.
Yeah, we've done so many already this year. I can't even count them. I've got them all in my calendar.
Here's another musician I know on the internet. This guy made a whole album dedicated to the failure of the Amico.
That's awesome. Did he send it to Pat, the NES punk?
Probably.
You should.
I think they're friendly. Yeah.
He would probably promote it on the podcast.
Hey, Tommy Uyamiko. Even his name is a meme on Tommy.
Yeah, the Ouya.
Yeah. Well, maybe next time, Tommy, I'll play your track as well. But he's very talented as well. Very talented.
And yes, merchandise is the best way for a band to make money. We do that. We do that. I've known that from the beginning. One of my favorite bands, they taught me that years ago. So we've had this is our sixth shirt I think that we've made.
Yeah, something like that.
So
I mean, as far as like, if you're in Jacksonville and you're playing a show with us and you consider us just a local band, and then you like see all the merch and shit that we have, it's like, oh, they don't really have merch like a local band would.
No.
But dude, I can tell you at the same time though, like, and I will call this band out because I was just appalled. We opened for a band called She Wants Revenge. They're pretty big. I mean, most people know who She Wants Revenge is.
I think I heard of them before.
That was one of the biggest bands I think we've opened for so far. But what annoyed me about them, aside from the fact that their show is just really like
they seemed very tired.
Very low energy, and I thought it was going to be a little bit more, hype or something. They had the only shirt they had was this black shirt, solid black, and it just said like She Wants Revenge just in this
rectangle. Yeah,
this crappy looking like design, and they were charging $35 for it.
And it was on Gildan.
And it was on Gildan brand, and I know that may sound like a foreign thing, but Gildan t-shirts are the cheapest brand of t-shirt you can print on. And they printed in volume, so they got even more of a discount. Single color, lazy image, $35. Now that to me is an example of a band that is going on tour specifically to milk their fans out of as much money as possible, because they're not really relevant anymore, except for their song "Tear You Apart" that still gets played in goth clubs from time to time.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, man. Like I know you're not supposed to in the industry. You're not supposed to say that kind of stuff. You're supposed to just like keep it to yourself because it doesn't look good on you or whatever. But like, I just got to call that out for how I see it.
Yeah,
that shirt should have been a $15 shirt because it probably cost them $5 per shirt.
Yeah, because we put a lot of like work and thought into like our merch. I would never stand by a product like that.
No, and we charge a fair price for it too, because I think we pay $12 for our shirts, and then we sell them for $20 at the show, and then $25 because we the shipping costs or whatever if you buy it from us online or whatever. So I mean that's like an $8 profit on the shirt. Well, what did he fucking do?
Split two ways. I made $4.
Right.
Yay.
So an order of 50 shirts for us is like around $600. So it's like, yes, in theory you will make back your money and then some, but you don't run through the whole order in a month. It's drips and drabs here and there. And so you don't really feel like you're getting your money back because you're getting in the forms of, $80 from this show, $150 from this show and merch. And you have to divide it in half between her and I. And it just, I mean, I guess once you get on the bigger levels and you're selling 3,000 shirts at a show, yes, that is a nice chunk of change.
Yes,
but that's not.
I would love to see you guys live. It's just the way gas is. I just can't. Oh,
where do you live?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's not.
That's where our label's based out of.
Yeah, that's actually kind of possibly doable for spring because we're looking at.
Ooh, okay. I know a perfect venue. I know it's an old church.
We'll talk about that after. We've had our.
I'll start calling my local radio stations. Like, you got to play this. You got to play this.
We like all of that. We're on a couple smaller stations, but anything like that definitely helps, get the word out. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start campaigning for you there.
Yeah.
So how the way you release tracks, the music videos are very important to you. Do you think that's lost in the music scene right now? That people don't focus as much as on music. You really have a strong focus on music and style too. I love both of your style. It's great.
Thank you.
I like how much attention you put to that. In the past, the costumes and stuff were great. I think we still might get some of that. And what do you tell your fans about this upcoming music video that you're gonna, and you might not want to spoil what's gonna happen. Are those clips on Instagram part of the video, or that's just you?
We haven't filmed it yet.
No, because I was like, is this gonna be part of the video or not? Because those are funny.
So if you follow the Dancing with Ghosts music video world and the lore of behind our videos, in our universe of videos, it's a very lonely world. It consists of me, Stephanie, and then like 2 or 3 other people that's been in our videos in the past.
Total.
So for the new video, since this song is kind of a 180, we wanted to do a 180 with the video, and we wanted to show people like this is what our live shows look like. And so a lot of it's going to be a recorded live performance, but done, like music video style, not actually a live performance where, we are actually going to be playing the instruments and all that, but like the audience and all that, they're going to be extras. We're going to be doing multiple takes, getting some great shots of the crowd and all that. And we just want to show people that, hey, we're not a lonely singular world in our video. There's actually a lot of people that, are in the Dancing with Ghosts family. And then the second scene is just us smashing shit in one of those smash rooms.
Because this is we won't be doing for Stainless Static, I made this robot head.
Yeah.
I love the theatrics. This one is going to be filmed completely differently. So it's going to be very visually interesting and fun to watch. However, this song is a story. So I think the story speaks for itself, and then you got the visuals, but I didn't think it needed characters. It didn't this song is angry. This song is made out of just sheer disrespect for people's boundaries and what is acceptable. So the song I think will stand on its own without the need for props and costumes and things, but it'll still be done.
Just
really
the raw energy, I think, is what's required in this video. So yeah, that's and
any estimate of turnaround time with this official production, how long it'll be before you're just going to go with the flow on it? You're not sure.
No idea how fast this guy works. After we finish the 2 days of filming, I have no idea how long it's going to take him to edit it and all the crap that he has to that you have to do. As I know from doing all of our videos, I know editing is probably the worst part, honestly, because you have to find the best shots from all the takes you did and all that, and it's kind of nightmarish. Keely says, if you ever come to Huntsville, Alabama, please play at the Orion Amphitheater. I appreciate that you believe in us so much that you think we're big enough to play an amphitheater.
Yes.
I hate to say we are not. We are not big enough to play.
We don't know the right people. Let's put it that way. We'd love to. I'd like to get us in at the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
I'm surprised there's people who live in Alabama that would want us to play there at all, because that's one of those states where you don't
you stereotype.
No, you don't really think of it as a place to go. But then one time someone brought up a good point. They're like, yeah, well, that's why you should go, because people are hungering for live music.
I've heard that.
They have to know it's coming, though. They say that you might get there and no one, they
right.
have to know.
Yeah, and then there's that too.
I think it really just comes down to if you're on a bill, say you go out of town where you're not known, and so long as you're on a bill with other bands that actually put in their due diligence and they bring their people, you're going to have a good experience, because we can win people over. Our live shows are not a joke. They're solid. They're very well done. So it's just a matter of like performing for people versus performing for not people, you know?
We do value Josh and Stephanie's time too, so I don't know how much more time you have dedicated this, but I would
I got
remind
about 15 more minutes for me.
Okay, that's what I was trying. I was trying to read the room. Cool. So if you have any final questions for Josh and Stephanie about the band, how you could support them if you're interested, or any other questions, and then they have to reveal the winner of the T-shirt, please get them in now. What was I gonna say? The future. What's your wildest dreams for this band, and for where you are now and what you've accomplished so far, and where you want to be in the future with this project? You've been at it a long time now, and I applaud you for, it's hard. It can be really hard. Like, I don't know because I haven't done it, but I would imagine it's pretty hard to do the grind this long. And where do you want this to go?
Pretty much just be able to play any venue in the U.S. and we can guarantee 100 people will show up. That's always been my thing.
I want to be self-sufficient with, making enough money to survive off of what we actually do, and playing, playing, as he said, to venues with at least that many people. Cause then I feel like you've reached a pretty, that's not nothing. That's substantial.
No, that's validation right there. That's good.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people say we would do Bomb in Europe. If I could ever get him on a plane, I'd have to.
I don't like flying either.
I would have to tranquilize this man. He's terrified of flying.
Oh, yeah, me too. I don't like it.
Yes.
Zeno XXL asks, how do you guys make such professional looking music videos? Well, a lot of practice. I was a YouTuber way before I made my first music video, so I already knew a bit about lighting and having a good camera. And then about a few years ago, we upgraded to Blackmagic 6K video camera, and that really upped the professional, how good the videos looked. It made them look more cinematic. If you want to look at our past 3 music videos, at least, they were used with that camera. It's really just lighting and kind of visualizing the scene in your head and thinking okay, what do I need to do to achieve this? And it's a lot of experimentation with light, really. Light, your lens is important.
We've definitely had some experimental successes and experimental fails, because we've been making music videos like this since 2017. So we definitely have scenes we love from the past and scenes that we're like, but they're learning experiences. So
I want to echo Bass made a comment about filming a music video, and they were saying that Strange pretending to play, and they did not even play the song in the background. How did they cue that up in the final mix then with the actual song if they didn't even play it as a reference point?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because we usually have little speakers going so we can hear what part of the song.
So you lip sync to it, and then in editing you can sync it up with the song. So I don't understand how that would have even worked.
Yeah.
Any ambition to mix up your the way you're doing your singles is working for you now? Did you ever think, let's get the band together for a short period of time and bump a couple like an EP or something out? Or you want to keep the way you're going, trajectory you're going? You're happy. Singles
are the market. I had to sell him on that maybe 2 years ago, but
I think I heard you say
the way the artists are releasing.
I think I already mentioned this the last time I was on your show, but I love the album experience. I'm old, so my formative years was spent going to FYE and Sam Goody and Best Buy and buying a CD, and you put a little bit of, and sometimes a lot of faith into that album, hoping it's going to be good, the whole thing, and not just the 2 or 3 singles you heard.
You got to do the little sample thing.
I never did that. I thought those headphones were dirty. I never put them. How many people have been wearing these with damn heads?
That is absolutely a you thing.
Yeah. So I would back in the day, you heard 2, 3 if you were lucky singles, and if they were all good, for me, I had to at least 2 singles for me to sacrifice my $15 to get the album. And then sometimes you'd get it and you're like, this whole album is amazing.
I remember I was so mad when I bought Ludo's album because I was like, Love Me Dead. This is a banger. Maybe they can keep up with like MCR and other stuff I liked at the time. And the rest of the album just fell so flat. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like everybody listens to songs now. Like it's basically a very single driven market.
Yeah. Like artists are still releasing albums, but they're playing half of the singles first.
I mean, just look at like Spotify, for instance. They give you the play counts, right? So if you go to an artist's album, you can pick almost any artist you want. I mean, there's some fans like Tool fans, all the songs can have an equal amount of plays because Tool fans are ridiculously dedicated. But you could go to almost any artist, like even someone like Michael Jackson, and what's going to have 100 million hits? The hit songs. The singles. Then you go to their non-singles, they have 9 million, but compared to the 100 million, you see that the trend is that most of the people are skipping those songs or just playing the hits.
Yeah, you're right.
So if we released an album on the level that we're at, we would have songs that just wouldn't get any love whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because they're just given this huge batch of songs that they're expected. Now, back in the 90s, that wouldn't have been a problem because they sacrificed their money on that entire 12-song album. So, damn it, they're going to listen to every single one of those songs because they want to feel good about their purchase. Yep. I mean, I'm sure there were people back in the 90s that would buy the CD and only listen to the hit songs, but most people,
I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, most people would venture off and listen to the other tracks on the album too because they had no choice. But now they have
I trust in Steph. I'm just an old guy. I'm 40. It's hard but I trust your knowledge on it. Yeah. I will get Spotify to support you guys.
Yeah,
and download on my phone.
It's me keeping up with current artists.
Right. You have to. Right?
I have to. I watch them and I learn from them. And I'm like, I watch from those who are more successful than me. And I'm like, okay, Youngblood put out a single today. He's got his new album coming out later this month. He's been putting out singles like every fucking month, like clockwork, but half of them are going to be on this album. Palais Royale's doing the same thing. They're on that level I want to be. So I'm like, no. Well, we're going to learn from those who are doing it better than you. And you know, that's very common industry practice at this point.
Steph, are you a gamer?
I like gaming, but historically, usually like, so I don't have current systems because all my exes took them because they're awful people. So I want to get a Switch so I can actually like play my own stuff. But I've been playing Pokken lately at my guy's house, and like that has actually been really fun because it's Pokemon, but it's also like Tekken. So that's been really fun. But I actually really like games. I just haven't had a current system in years because I don't buy stuff like that for myself. I'm kind of like I don't know why I just won't spend money like that on myself, but I still have like my Pokemon Moon and stuff like that. I do like games, but I haven't had a current system. I'm playing like Spyro on PS1. So
okay.
Yeah, I got that for Christmas a few Christmases ago because she was talking about
I missed it.
Yeah.
If you get a Switch, we got a Mario Kart it up. We got a lot of friends online.
I've been playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Switch, and that game is so good. And I feel like it flew under the radar.
I've got to go to work.
Okay. So let's.
You can keep talking.
No. We can wrap it up. I want you to be together to pick a commenter. I don't know if you could do a drum roll. I don't know.
I wish I could pull out of a hat. We love pulling out of hats. I would have started writing them down.
So all the commenters were great. We appreciate all participation.
Yeah,
but, if there's anyone that you really like their comments, it's I don't know, you Josh and Steph, you could talk it over.
Well, honestly, I think Pete Dan Cat, I liked his comments the most. However, he does live overseas and the shipping is a bitch. But if you don't pick he just solidifies my point. Funny guy. Yeah, the shipping is just a lot overseas. I've had to ship shirts overseas before, and it's like 14 extra bucks.
Okay, who do you want to pick? I need to go.
Okay, let's do Dat Dude Vince.
Oh, all
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, dude, Ben.
Right on,
That's
man.
awesome.
Well deserved.
Congratulations. He's a great guy. Great guy. Awesome. Thank you, Steph and
Yeah.
Josh. And
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you for having us.
We'll be watching your career with what are the? Oh, I messed up phrases from Star
Bated
Wars.
breath? I don't know.
No, with
Palpatine.
Yeah,
I
I
messed
know.
it
Really
up.
fun. This was really fun.
Oh yeah, I love it. Can't wait to see your career blossom. And oh yeah, look she took that time for
literally-
work.
I have to drive.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem.
All right.
No problem.
See you.
Gotta go DJ. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, DJ. Ooh. All right.
Go DJ.
But yeah, anyway, thank you for having us. And yeah, you got to get me into the thing with the dude, the other channel.
Oh, Enosh. No,
Yeah.
Enosh.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted to have. We usually do a show together on Saturdays. It's just that you're playing a lot of Saturday shows. But yeah, there's a great opportunity for independent creators to comment on other nerd culture too. And get in there. We're always happy whenever you want to pop in and get in there and talk about it. And how I have one more final question before you go. How do you manage because you're kind of a nerd as well, like games and stuff.
Absolutely.
How do you manage that with your music career? Like how much of it your time does it occupy? I know it's your passion, it's your art. But
Yeah,
how much of it is occupied by that? Do you get to enjoy movies, games, and stuff? Or
yeah, the movies and TV series I catch up on at night after I've done all my chores and work for the day, and I have like an extra 2 hours before I got to go to bed. The video games, man, I probably get a maximum of like 5 to 6 hours a week that I have to play video games, which sucks. But at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, do I really want to spend 15 hours a week on playing video games? It's a nice break from reality, but at the end of the day, it's not really accomplishing anything, especially if you're not streaming and you're just doing it for fun. Because at least people who stream are like potentially making money or more followers or whatever. But yeah, I don't.
Oh yeah, we got to link up your channel too, because he does lots of different type of content. He's also a YouTuber. Don't forget that. Let me bring that up here.
Stephanie's doing something weird that you guys can't see off camera.
I'm collecting my things so I can go.
Oh, sure, Steph. All right, here we go. Here's the Dancing with Ghosts YouTube channel, almost at 8K.
Yeah.
So go support. Do you find it hard? Hard to make YouTube videos now that you're doing a lot of shows?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It is very hard. Dude, you want to hear something interesting about doing my YouTube channel is so this guy who saw my Rex Viper videos, he reached out to me on the band Instagram and he's like, hey, I do a VR fitness channel and I'd love to do a collab with you. And I'm like, I don't have a VR system. He's like, oh, that's cool. I can just send you one. I'm affiliated with Facebook Oculus people.
Wow.
So he's like, what's your address? And I'm like, I got security cameras and a baseball bat. Sure, I'll bite. I gave him my address and sure as shit, like a few weeks later, a brand new Oculus 2.
Wow.
And then he gives me like $100 gift certificate card that the Meta people gave him. He gave me that to buy. There were certain games he wanted me to review and do with him. And so shitting on Rex Viper has done quite well for me, honestly.
Yes, I saw some of those videos. Yes.
I mean, Jesus,
Josh has some hot takes. Zeno,
Yeah,
go check.
The guy who wants to collaborate with me, like and I didn't really notice this because it's just second nature to me. He appreciated the fact how I was able to break down. I wasn't just shitting on the concerts just to shit on them. I was able to say why they weren't good from a musician standpoint. Because a lot of people don't understand why it's not good. Their ears are just telling them that it's not good. But I was able to go in there and say, well, they're using practice amps, so that's going to give you crappy tone. The guitarist is sloppy and out of time. The singer was clearly worn out. Their band's out of practice. The levels aren't right. There's not enough blah, 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 blah. And I think that was fascinating to a lot of people. And I'm like, damn, okay, maybe I take for granted the fact that I know as much as I do about like the technical side of music. So people have been telling me lately that they want me to review other concerts. But see, the challenging thing is like like Motley Crue, for example. If I reviewed their concert, I'd just say, Vince Neil's voice sucks. I mean, that's all I got. Because I mean, everyone else in the band are like seasoned pros. You know, they're gonna look cool. They're gonna have the best gear. They're gonna, be on top of their game. So I mean, it's really punching like up to try to sit there and make fun of Motley Crue. But Rex Viper was the perfect amount of crappy to where they were the perfect band to pick on, because it's like this e-celeb who just decided one day that I want to be a rock star. It's that easy. I'm going to go and be super solid and awesome. It's like, no, dude, it doesn't work like that. You can't skip the 10,000 hours of practice that people from other disciplines have to put in to be good. Like if I decide one day I want to be a great artist, guess what? My first 100 pieces of art are going to look like crap, because I'm developing my technique. And I felt like they were a group of guys that just thought that, James is famous. We have this opportunity to do these goofy music videos that, I mean, would just, I don't know. It just looked like James's editing style in those videos. And it just looked very, I don't know. I don't want to go too far into any of that. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I'm always trying to come up with different angles for content. I recently just did my top 10.
Oh yeah, I watched it. I didn't. Damn it, I'm part of the problem. I didn't comment on it yet. I think I liked the video, but I was watching it at work. It was a great video, and there were games I didn't know about there.
Yeah, so every now and then I still like throwing in the video game stuff, because obviously, I mean, with all this crap back here, it's very important to me. Especially like the retro stuff. So yeah, I mean,
I do have one final question too. I just thought of, and then that dude Vince, give me your address on Twitter, and the size shirt. It goes up to 3X. Not suggesting you need that or anything, but small to 3X is the sizes.
Extra small all the way up to 3X. Yep.
Tell me what size you want, your address, and then I haven't been on Cash App in a while. I was registered, but I have to see if I can log in and stuff. And then I'll let Josh and Steph know later this weekend sometime to get you your shirt. And then I'm planning on getting one soon. Now that I had one final question for you. Now that you've had this experience of the studio, is that going to change the way you prepare songs before you go in the studio, or should you keep your process as is? That way, save on studio time. Like you pretty much you had this song for a long time. You knew the song pretty well when you went in. Are you going to leave things more open when you go in the studio, or because this song you knew ahead of time, but maybe the next song is a newer song for you the next time you go into the studio? So yeah, that was my final question.
Figured that one out, because it's like, if I know I'm just going to have to go and re-record the guitars anyway, am I really going to put that much effort into demoing them out at my house like I normally would,
Probably save you in recording time, because don't you have to do by the days or something, or
by the hour? And there's a certain amount of hours minimum that you have to book. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to answer more questions, but I have to go too, unfortunately.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Dancing with Ghosts. Keep supporting them. We will be tweeting out whenever they have a single out. And thanks for making the time, Josh. And rock on tomorrow. Rock on.
Thank you guys so much. We love y'all, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
I see you.
All right. Well, thanks, Brian. Thank you, chat. We are going to end it. Great hour and a half of interview with Dancing with Ghosts. It
was a good special occasion, man.
Really, we got to support independent creators. There's a lot of great stuff out there. You just got to search for it. The internet can be a good place. You just have to know where to look for it. There you go. So bye, everyone. We'll see you later.